Hi everyone, Rob Mcinerney, the Chief Executive Officer for iRAP. I'm really sorry that I can't join you in person at the RAP in Europe event because unfortunately my daughter is here at the Queensland Children's Hospital with her own emergency admission. But today, as we reflect on global road safety and our progress towards the 2030 target to halve road deaths and injuries that fill up emergency wards like this around the world, we have to realise that we have an emergency right now. Road safety is not progressing at the speed or the scale that it needs to. We are so far short of the targets. In many high-income countries, we're actually heading backwards. So we have so much more to do. We have to join forces. We have to learn from each other. We have to share knowledge across Europe and across the world to help save as many lives as we can. We know the proven interventions, we know they're cost effective, and we just need to do them on a scale that matters. So today and over the next 2 days there in Brussels, you'll be sharing your knowledge, you'll be gaining inspiration from each other, and you'll be learning from case studies around the world to understand what can scale in urban areas, in rural areas, anything we need to do to help save lives and reduce injuries right across the world. The good news is that iRAP partners all around the world are already saving lives on a scale that matters. Some 700,000 people will have been saved from death and serious injury by the end of this year. It's part of a program that began there in Europe as a partnership and now is extended worldwide to more than 30,000 partners globally. We're in it together to save as many lives as we can and ultimately achieve iRAP's vision as a charity to have a world free of high-risk roads. We've now seen more than $100 billion US, some 90 billion euros mobilised around the world and made safer. Those 30,000 partners, they're all part of this. iRAP is actually quite small, but we rely on these great partnerships with governments, development banks, the private sector, universities and other experts, including the advocates, the automobile associations, to actually work together to ultimately achieve this vision for a world free of high-risk roads. But the scale of this emergency is huge. I've been in the Children's Hospital for the last week and seen kids with limb fractures, with head injuries and others. They're going to be there for month after month. And this burden of injury is huge. It's a big drain on our societies and our economies. It's an incredible impact on the families that I've seen and talked with this week in hospital. This is the biggest killer of young people worldwide. We have to do more. This burden is huge. More than 50 million people a year are killed or injured on the world's roads at a cost of some 3.6 trillion US each and every year. Across Europe, in terms of the WHO region, definition of Europe, some 61,437 people lost their lives in 2021. More than 5 million were injured, putting a burden of around 422 billion euros on the economies, on the health systems, on the insurance schemes, and on families right across Europe. So this emergency needs action on a scale that matters. And I just wanted to share with you some global examples. You'll be sharing lots from within Europe this week, but I wanted to sort of share with you a few examples to inspire you from outside Europe. The first one is Australia, where I'm from. And what we've seen there is the program evolve over many years now to where the ownership of AUSRAP, the Australian Road Assessment Program, is now nested within Austroads. Austroads is the representative body of all the state, federal and local government road authorities in Australia. They run AUSRAP and they work with all the relevant partners to make it happen. We've now seen more than 300,000 kilometres assessed, right across the country. Some 19 billion Australian dollars of investment has been mobilised. All of the governments have actually committed to publishing their star rating results by the end of next year. And they've mobilised multi-billion dollar investment funds at the national level and at state levels to actually bring roads from 1 and 2 star standard up to 3 star or better. And one of those is in the state of Victoria, where they have a monopoly insurance scheme, and that insurer has invested heavily in infrastructure safety, 560 million in their recent tranche, targeting the top 20 worst locations across that road network. 77% reduction in fatalities. 74% fewer hospital bed days. And the star ratings lifted from 2.9 on average to 4.5 across that whole network. Now again, the power of the star ratings is you don't need to know the geography of Victoria, where the capital city is Melbourne. But you can see those major roads radiating out of Melbourne that were 1, 2 and 3 star back in 2014. And then look to the right-hand side of the picture where you can see after that investment through to 2022, where essentially you're looking at all the high volume roads, 5 star mostly, and all of the 1 star roads have disappeared. Basically, we see this wholesale change of the network. And it's been measured and it's being celebrated by the government in Victoria. Brazil is another one of those fantastic showcase countries. At the national level, the program is led by the Federal Department of Infrastructure and Transport, DNIT. They have assessed their whole network, 57,000 kilometres of roads, right across Brazil. But what I love is they put all of the results into a Power BI dashboard. It's publicly available. You can access it on the iRAP website. You can see the interaction of the pedestrian star rating, the cycling star rating, the motorcyclists and the vehicle occupants as per the chart there. They've got their investment plans shown there. It's all there for every professional across Brazil to be able to access and use to improve safety. We've also got a great new and the first ever state level RAP program. So local leadership there in Sao Paulo. The governor of Sao Paulo launched it, Tarcísio Freitas, alongside with the Secretary of Infrastructure. And that program is now up and running and will drive investment in safer infrastructure across their 26,000 kilometres of roads there in Sao Paulo. The next one I wanted to share with you is the partnership success. And one of our best is with the Millennium Challenge Corporation from the United States. They're investing in a lot of the countries that need it most. Those countries where their infrastructure is of a very poor standard and they need help with governance and capacity building, local skills, and also the investment, the grant-funded infrastructure upgrades across those countries. So we're working with them across 8 key areas. One is making sure that every one of their roads that they're financing is 3 star or better for all road users, pedestrians, cyclists included. They're rolling out the star rating for schools in a range of countries. You can see the example there from Morocco. They've helped us translate all of the iRAP materials into multiple languages. We're building local capacity and skills. We've created the business case for safer roads in each of those countries. They're helping us understand impact investing and social impact financing. How can we mobilise a Footpaths for Africa road safety bond? How can we work together with the European Investment Bank, with DG INPAR and others to actually make that a reality? Helping also build that locally led programs like Brazil and Australia, like you have in some countries across Europe. And then also on the research, helping us get that light data processes that are right for Africa, that are right for low and middle income countries around the world. That partnership's multi-year. Likewise, our partnership with Google. We're actually collecting Street View data for Google in Ecuador, in Costa Rica, and we're just about to start collection in Uruguay. That's all about getting the source data so that we have the street view imagery that we can use to actually identify whether there's footpaths or not, and that sort of potential. They're also helping us in Vietnam through google.org, their philanthropy, to try and star rate every school in Vietnam using big data, from satellite data to sky data to street view data to LiDAR and other sources of information. 3M's also been working with us, the examples there from Indonesia, where they've helped transform the safety of schools from 2-star to 5-star. And we've also have a range of policy success around the world, and I really encourage you to look at that in your country. How can you create the local ownership at a government level that they align with the global targets 3 and 4? That is, all new roads to be built to 3-star or better standard for all road users, and progressively bring all of your road network up to that 3-star or better standard, starting with 75% of travel by 2030. Great examples all around the world: Slovenia, Croatia there locally, Vietnam, Thailand, Australia, many countries that are now doing this. And it's on a scale that matters, but it's also helping us to learn from each other as we go on that journey to 3-star or better roads in each country. And importantly, we're also working on innovative financing. Many in the road sector are seeing pressure on road budgets because of the Paris alignment and the need to hit climate targets. The reality is, investment in safety on existing infrastructure is actually one of the most cost-effective things you can do, and it's important for both the environment and for safety. And that investment is critical for road agencies to keep making progress and improve the standard of their networks. Brazil has been leading the way. You can see there one of their major roads near Brasilia that's actually going from 2 and 3-star up to 4 and 5-star in a concession environment. So they actually have to, conditionally within the concession agreement, bring the road to a 3-star or better standard, and do that very early in the concession period. So those benefits accrue over the full 20, 30 or 40-year life cycle of the concession agreement. Likewise, with the PIPA concession, $3.4 billion of capital investment, led by the government there in Sao Paulo, helped with the World Bank, IFC, the IDB and BNDES, the domestic bank, investment bank for Brazil. And this is now working and being expanded to Panama as we speak, and potentially Senegal next. So this is what we need to do, is to actually wake up to this being the biggest killer of young people worldwide. Wake up to the burden in emergency and trauma wards all around the world. Realise that the investment is cost effective. There is no reason we shouldn't be investing in this. We're going to save lives, we're going to save money, we're going to create jobs. Everybody is a winner. So let's join forces. Let's work together and celebrate safer roads, and bring an urgency and scale of investment and action that is needed to meet the 2030 targets and ultimately reach Vision Zero. Thank you, and all the best for your iRAP in Europe event this week. Thank you.